game and salvage some points and a little bit of pride over the last 10 minutes of the game.
Absolutely. They need to huddle up, look at where they are, decide on a plan of action, and go about their business as clinically as they would in the practice, because really what you've been practicing all the months need to come now, and that's what Trinity have to do. They need to really look at their head and look at their level of performance. They know they've done the work, the fitness. As a Royal player, the number 10, is it?
12 minutes. That's your mark. Yeah.
The number 10, yes. Vijay Wardana, having done good service for his school, limps off. He's done his work today, so he can take the magic ice and the magic sponge comfortably. Trinity College now.
Yeah, not dominating the scrum, and unfortunately he's gone round, and it may be a turnover ball here.
Very lucky, Robert. As we said before, the weight factor will start to tell. The lactic acid build-up in the Trinity pack will be far greater and far quicker than with their opposite numbers for Royal College.
Yeah, I think Trinity really needs to take the advantage here. Royal have had a couple of injuries, one player off the field, so their lineup has been changed somewhat considerably, and so their structure will go out of their game. They will lose a little bit of composure, but you see a lot of pressure coming on from the scrum from Royal there, but I think once again somebody was pulling that scrum down.
Excellent scrum again by Royal College. In fact, Robert, they're down to 14 because their skipper, having had a few words with the referee, who took exception to whatever he was saying, decided that he will cool down and took the 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think he was asking him to come round for dinner tonight, was he?
He might have been discussing the value of the cost of apples, or was it a nice day, or whatever. How much does a laundry cost these days? I'm not sure.
Whatever it was, Dulwai took offence to it anyway.
And here we are. Trinity in a good attacking position, Ajit.
Yeah, I think they got into the position for the first time in the match, right in the corner there. And let's see what they're doing here. And it's a tremendous drive. And this is Trinity with all their weight behind the man with the ball. And a ball is coming out now, and we see Ranatunga breaking through, but tremendous defense by Royal. Tremendous defense.
Well, I think that was a super chance that Trinity had of scoring. They were using their big forwards to advantage, but again, when they were on the ascent every time, they make a mistake.
True, very true. I mean, it is heartbreaking to see Trinity that close to the line with the line-out ball, and then the fly half just making a little mess of it. He decided to go himself. Didn't have much of a choice, really. That was young Ranatunga for Trinity College, and he won't make many friends today in his team because they're so close for the first time in the 60 minutes or in the 53 minutes played. Royal are actually on the back foot now, defending their line, but not fazed by it in any way. Baudin from the back makes an acceptable clearance, and now again Trinity with a chance to strike back and put some points for pride and a little bit of self-respect and dignity. Nothing else involved now, Robert.
No, I think, I hope I don't put the commentators' jinx on them, but their line-out has worked in the last 3 or 4 line-outs, and they really need to get it here, consolidate, have a nice drive, and probably try and move the ball wide. I mean, Royal are still one man down in the back line, so it's ideal opportunity, but these silly little ball handling errors are really costing them, and they've lost another 5 meters there.
Absolutely, goodness. Can't imagine what the Trinity coach must be going through. They get everything right, and then their hands let them down. There's Pushpa Kumara. Not much choice.
He's the only option left for him. But there you see, we had a line out on Royal 22. One mistake, and they're back deep in their own half.
Yeah. Here's the previous mistake coming in. Great pictures on Sirisa TV. Hope you're enjoying them. Brought to you by Singer Sri Lanka.
Yeah, we see there good line-out ball at the back, and they've shown a little bit of variety in the line-out in the last few minutes. But just a little mistake at the back there, just a little bit of accuracy missing. And here we are back live.
And Royal College now, ball coming back. Jayasundara at number 12. Well banged up by Manikam, taking him head on. That'll give him a little bit of confidence, but Baudin and the number 8 there, Herat, making a little mess of that. Here's that replay. Terrible, terrible story. Yeah, very bad ball from the back.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a good ball to pick up, was it? But a skilled rugby player still needs to pick those up, and so I think it's been a very hot day. It's been very humid in Colombo, and I think the temperature and the pressure starting to tell them these players are looking a little bit weary now.
Look at that royal scrum, guilty of not binding. And young Rashid to Jasundara. Bad pass from him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Trinity were back 10 metres there, but referees ruling a knock-on, and Trinity get the scrum.
Here's Jasundara's ball going back behind Baudin. Actually, it was passed to his ankles.
Yeah, it's just accuracy, isn't it? Just ball control, and it's basics there, and just trying to force the pass a little bit too far sometimes.
Sean, what we can't understand is how Trinity is getting shoved. They have the bigger pack, and look at the pressure the Royal is putting on them.
I think if you look at the feet position and just the body height, Ajit, is the major factor there. Scrumming's not all about size. As long as you've got good technique, you can overcome a bigger scrum, and Royal are very well drilled in that area. So I would say Trinity will go away and hit the scrum machine back in Kandy for the next couple of weeks and come back a different proposition.
Well, all things considered, looking at the next phase of this Bradby, I think Trinity have a lot of work to do. I don't think it's impossible. Royal have simply shown that they're in a different class. They have really come good today. Everything they have planned has worked. Trinity, on the other hand, have made a complete mess of everything they've planned. So we have to be honest about it. Not a very good line out from Royal College.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably that area in kickoffs is one area that they're letting themselves down on, Con. Everything just getting a little bit messy there. We've probably got about 3 minutes of play left.
36-6 here in this Singer Bradby encounter. Singer coming in such a big way to school rugby and doing absolutely wonderful things. So we are very privileged to be able to talk the game for you. The replay shows you the little bit of comedy that went on. And as we said earlier, now the bigger boys for Trinity College will start to hit the deck harder. The thud will be a little bit more because the lactic acid build-up in the legs will take them down and leave them on the ground a little bit longer. And that's Munawira, the number 1 prop, who has been in more ways than one guilty of many offences. Heavily strapped thigh there. Is it a scrum? Is it a hamstring, or it might be a little bit more than that? He's been carrying a hamstring injury before he came into that. So that will be so tight on his muscle. It'll be tough. And that freeze spray is not going to make much of a difference to the lad. Poor boy, is going to have to live with a very sore crotch.
I think, Sean, it's a mistake that almost every side makes. I mean, you have a good player, he gets an injury, you somehow want him to play. But it's much better to get a fit player on the field, and you can get much more work out of a fit player. And, you know, if you saw the previous maul where Royal went in, I think the forwards still have that, you know, they just hold the ball above their head when they go in, and it gets, you know, stolen away by the opposition. Both sides are guilty of that.
I think Maya, situation we see the replay coming up here. You see Munawira going in, and he's been driven back, and I think that's where it really pulls. And I think he's gone. He's gone for the second Bradby also. And I think these are the risks that Trinity took in playing him. Because if you're going to lose him, you're going to lose him for both Bradbys. Whereas they could have kept him fit for the second game, now he's gone. And we might see a replacement here. They don't have a prop forward to replace him just now. But I think the game has been reduced to Morato mistakes, Chandrashan. I think both sides are very tired now.
Come on, don't fail.
Very true. The early magic, Robert, is gone now, and it's pretty much a grind now. For Munawira, his rugby Bradby is pretty much gone. That hamstring is not going to come good, whatever he does, unfortunately for him. And it's a case I always keep telling people, and people laugh at me sometimes, Robert. I always say muscles don't have brains. You know, you can't really push them to the limit and tear and pull them apart and then expect them to come good. You really have to look after yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess the coach had to make a decision. He didn't have the the opportunity of hindsight like we've all got, but unfortunately may have backfired on him in this case.
Here we go, Trinity, with a little bit of juice left in their tank, trying to get the ball wide and try and get some bit of respect back. A little bit of pride for the Trinity Lion.
There's space over on the left there. That's, I'm not sure if that was the right option, but and a knock on there.
There's replacements coming in now, fresh legs for Royal College. And guilty of holding on. Trinity need to take the ball quickly if they can. Run it wide, and that's what they do. They have a go. They just need to have a go now. They can't just stop and think about it.
No, you've got to have a crack and finish up, get the last say in the game.
That's it. At least come away with a little bit of pride. Trying to get the ball back. Going forward, says the referee. As skipper Dissanayake comes back on.
They'll probably come back on just in time for the full-time whistle.
That's it. We've precious minutes away, or at least it's about 2 minutes. There's the Jeffrey Garland, the Trinity College coach. Won't be a happy man. He will have to go back to the drawing board and try and assess what has actually gone on today. If he looks at the mistakes that Trinity have made, he will not need to go further than that. It's been a simple story. Royal have really played disciplined, hard format rugby, and they've been rewarded for that.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you just need to go away, and you can't correct too many things. You've just got to correct 3 or 4 things. One of the areas they'll need to correct is their scrummaging and just a little bit of discipline and ball control.
Trinity now with the last put in, probably. This might be the last effort of the game. CPP, are they going to order? Seepers to all his friends. He and I played some good sevens together, and we enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. And there he is now, Sri Lanka's national junior coach and coach of Royal College. As Rashid has a go. He's free. Pushpa Kumara coming across. Numbers inside. Dissanayake on the field, having a go himself. Has he got the legs? Yes, he has.
Wonderful try. What a wonderful try.
And that's what Royal College is all about. Dissanayake off the park. Rashid making the initial break. And Robert Yeoman Rashid gaining valuable ground, using up the space, pulling in Trinity's defense, breaking it up, and then just popping the ball to his captain, who just finished it off. Here's that replay. Just well timed. Dissanayake still had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he did, but he wasn't going to be stopped, was he? He was pretty focused.
Strong kid.
He spent 10 minutes on the sideline watching his boys struggle ball without him. He wasn't going to be next, was he?
He wasn't going to leave that Bradby line. Here it is from the other side. Here's Rashid. Free, has a look. He knows he's not got the legs. Looks for the support. And there's his skipper. As a good winger should be there. He's had a nice long rest, recovered completely, and takes 1, 2, and 3, and drives over the line. And Royal College now pretty much well away, taking 41-6 advantage up to Kandy as Baudin. 22 meters outside from a very difficult angle. But has he got the legs? Just to the left of the left upright.
That was an absolutely wonderful try, and that boy Rashid, I'm not sure when he leaves school, Sean, but I've got a contract in my back pocket. I can take him back to New Zealand with me.
Absolutely. He's got that sort of an ability.
If you just see here, and unfortunately we're just a little bit late on it, but Rashid did a real wonderful thing and transferred the ball under his right arm, got the right arm, but that was sheer determination, wasn't it? That was Jonah Lomu stuff, was that?
Here we go. Look at that, ball available all the time.
He was aware, wasn't he? He's got great vision, he's got great game sense, and this man's a powerful runner. He's a powerful runner with a smash over one. The big don't come Monday, the fend there, and the leg drive.
1, 2, 3, he's taken 4 over. Lakshman's already played for Sri Lanka, Robert, so that confidence, that experience sets them apart from all the other school kids.
You can see why, can't you?
And that is a distinct advantage for Royal College. They've got 3 national players in their team, so that adds another level to their performance, because the kids know we've got 3 internationals in our side. We'll just play off them, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly, and they bring the experience back into the side, and they'll do a fair bit of coaching as well, because they've had exposure at the top level, so it's a great thing to have that experience in your side, at a side of such a young age as well.
good experience, good inspiration, good rugby. And there's Rashid again in the line. Good clean out by Royal, but there's no support. Ball is free. Trinity have really given up the story. Their legs are gone.
Yeah, they could have got in there and grabbed that ball, couldn't they? But they were just standing back waiting for Royal to run at them now.
They're standing back in numbers. Seepers is still nervous, as he always is. He never gives that up. He's got more adrenaline than the teams put together, and justified today in every sense of the word.
Yeah, he'll have a good night's sleep tonight, though, won't he? Be able to relax a little bit.
That's it. The 60th Bradby encounter here in Colombo comes to a dramatic end with Royal College running out clear winners, 41-6, and nothing in it for Trinity College. A difficult story, and I shall hand you to Ajit and to Dr. Maya, who will summarize the whole story for you.
Well, you've seen it all in pictures, and I think that one picture is better than 1,000 words. Maybe you go through the goals, the trial, full score, the full-time score. We got it on the board there, and I think we did not have to repeat that. 41 points for Royal, and I think Trinity went out with so much hope today, but they paid for a lot of little mistakes they made in the first 10 minutes. They had certain amount of control, but after that indiscipline set in, and Royal, superior side, they will smell that, and they did, and they just ran away winning 41 points.
Here you go, Robert. Here's a territorial advantage. Very clear. The Royal story is a very clear story. So territorial possession, scrums, turnover balls, and kicks at goal. Well, it says it all. The 41-6 scoreline is an indication of Trinity's inability to control the game and Royal's superior ability to play according to their game plan and rely on their strength and finish it off.
Yeah, it's all about opportunities, the game, and Royal took their opportunities, and we saw in particular two wonderful tries, one in the first half and the last one just to finish the game with absolutely spectacular tries, and you'd be happy to see that anywhere in the world at any level of rugby. They're absolutely wonderful.
I think I myself expected a much closer game, but as the game went on, you could see the superior fitness and the technique of the Royalists. And I think we should thank one person, that is CP Abegunathan and George Simpkin, because CP has been an understudy of George Simpkin. He clearly emphasizes on fitness and strength, and the Royal side outpaced Trinity. Trinity had their strength, and that was in the pack, but Royal outpaced them, and every time they broke the three-quarter line, that was a threatening move.
That's it. Perfect day for Royal College. Well done all round to their management. And of course to the supporters here who came in their thousands to watch this game, and to Trinity College. Well, they've got a candy encounter which they'll need to try and even up the score. Difficult. But today, to Robert and myself, to Ajit and to Maya, we are now very grateful for the opportunity. We will give you back to Mr. Brian Thomas, who will take you home, and look forward to seeing you in Kandy for the second encounter. Thank you. Good night.
Chandrashan, thank you very much indeed. Yes, we've come to the end of a perfect evening. Not very perfect though for the Trinitians. They've got a little bit of a rubbing here, no doubt about it. Royals completely outplayed Trinity, 41-6. And the second leg up in Kandy, Trinity will have to do something special if they are to make sure that they win this Bradby Shield. Otherwise, Royal will take it 4 in a row. With me, of course, is a very good friend of mine, a hardened old Trinitian, Asitabe Sekara, Marketing Director of our sponsor, Singer Sri Lanka. First and foremost, on rugby, you are very disappointed being an old Trinitian.
Obviously, yes. But of course, no one seriously expected really to pull it off. Royal completely outclassed them, I thought, in this leg. Of course, as our motto says, respect him, I think we have to look to the second leg, Brian.
That's a very fair statement. Now then, what I want to ask you is, I heard that Singer has started multi-branding. Now, this is something very new, and I was waiting to meet you to find out more about it.
Actually, we started multi-branding quite some time back. And in our Singer shops, apart from the Singer brand, you would find a whole host of international brands. Some of them which are Whirlpool, Akai, then we got Prestige, Welling, and then of course our own Cecil, which was a local brand which was acquired by Singer 3 years back. And a whole host of international brands which are available under the Singer roof.
Right, I'm told that you are going to have a gala ceremony very shortly in which Singer Sri Lanka.
They can accumulate points and work from there.
Here we go. We're going to the official presentation. Look at that. Nice. nice to see young and old, boys, girls, everybody is part of the equation. We've got Dr. Maya and Ajit over there. Ajit, tell us about this lineup coming through to shake the all-important hand.
Yeah, this is Mohan Saim, a rugby icon in his day, in 1960s. Played for Trinity 62, 63, 64, and then played for Sri and Sri Lanka in the late 60s. A great player, tantalized crowds with his amazing feats, and I think it's a special occasion for him because it's 40 years Chandrashan since he captained Trinity. And,
that's a nice story.
Yeah, and I just must say that in this particular game in 1964, it was Lakdasa Disanayaka, the late Dr. Lakdasa Disanayaka, who actually stole the show. Mohan was really the cynosure of all the eyes that day, but of all eyes that day. But it was Lakdasa who came out with the amazing feat of drop kicking that amazed the whole crowd, stunned the whole Candy crowd. And Royal won the Bradby, and he carved history for himself that day, Chandrashan. And it's his son who is captaining today. Amazing coincidence.
Absolutely brilliant story, Ajit. And of course, this is very much part of the Bradby Shield, is the tradition and the generational factor that is so important and so much of pride for both schools. And what a lovely picture that makes. We've got Dr. Maya on the other side. Doctor, we've got everybody lined up. And of course, I am going to talk you through the Trinity lineup, but being a Royalist, tell me about the feeling of just being here, being part of it, having already been there in the middle, both you and Ajit. How does it feel as you stand there? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think, Ajit, Shan, all the boys there, it's a huge occasion, and this is what they have been training throughout the season for. And there is a fair amount of nervous energy there, which is going to be dissipated within the next 5-6 minutes. Royal came up with a fantastic performance in the first game. I think they played brilliantly. But Trinity, I'm sure, will come up with an excellent performance here, because we cannot forget the fact that Trinity beat Isipatana in Kandy 26 points to 3. But whatever happened to them in Colombo, I think, will be forgotten. And I would expect Trinity to score first and probably Royal to get a wake-up call and then go berserk, or it will be a very absorbing and very close contest.
Okay, now the experts have spoken. Robert, here we go. As everything lines up, the Trinitians welcome all Royalists to Kandy, and everybody else for that matter. The whole of Sri Lanka lining up on Sirius TV to watch this fabulous spectacle. And we hope you enjoy the pictures as Sirius TV and Singer combine to make this so much of a reality. And it's going to be a lot of fun, Robert, more than anything else.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's absolutely just great to be here.
We all stand up for the national anthem. Very much part of Sri Lanka's pride to be able to witness this and be part of this occasion. Both schools, of course, lining up for a lot more serious duty after this, as we have international under-19 duty for these youngsters, where they will be wearing their shirt very proudly for Sri Lanka rugby as they run out in the Asian tournament later on this year. And as we know, 3 representatives already in the national squad from Royal College. Bahudin, Jayasundara and Lakshman Disanayaka, their skipper. Here we go. Bogambara, all dressed up, perfect green, as the school anthems pitch in, and it's just a case of the heart now pumping harder than the head, and you can't imagine a better occasion. The adrenaline, of course, will make you sing words that sometimes don't exist in your head, Robert.
Well, that's good, because I don't know the words anyway, so I can maybe sing along. But the crowd's joining in here, so there's plenty of Royal supporters up here from Colombo, so that's good to see.
Aye, they've travelled up. There's a lot of people who come up by different means of transport. Trains, buses, cars, vans, lorries, whatever they can jump on. And of course, Trinity prepared to welcome the whole royal entourage to this splendid stadium. Wonderfully decked out today. Very, very well controlled atmosphere because the ground conditions underfoot, nice and hard, and the weather upstairs hot. And we'll give you the weather card in a little bit as we go past the team sheets. But good conditions for open rugby, Robert. There's a stiff breeze that comes right across from left to right as we're watching.
Yeah, I think it will have some influence on the game, but both teams have got to be very careful.
At fly half, Rama Vikrama, Jayasundara, Vijay Sekara, Disanaika, their skipper, and Bahudin, the all-important factor at the back, who will have a lot of work given the wind factor. And Trinity, who the team that will come up here to battle for pride and respect and establish their name here today up in Kandy in their home grounds, as it were. Ahmed Aluviara and Thelina Kumara, Jakoti and Senaika as second rows, Ching, Herat and Manikam, and another Ching at number 9, the link man, Ranatunga as fly half, and then Wendis, I beg your pardon, young Mr. Mendes on the wing, Fernando and Jai Surya as centers, and Sanjeeva on the other wing, and Pushpa Kumara controlling the back. Here we go. This is an important factor, Robert, as you always say. Mansoor Hettiarich and Abe Wickrama will hold up the front row. Rajapaksa and Jifri at second row. Udugampala and Rashid on the as the two flankers. Herat as number 8. Sundaruwan, Vijay Wardana, key man. Rama Vikrama, Jasundara, Disanaika, Vijay Sekhar and Bahudin. So important, and everything will depend on that. Next up, Trinity. Ahmed Aluviara, Thelina Kumara, work cut out today despite their excess weight. Jakoti Senaika, Ching Senrat, Manikam at number 8, Ching, Ranatunga, Mendes, Fernando, Jasuria, Sanjeeva and Pushpa Kumar. The win factor will be a telling story. Orville Fernando in charge as the toss has already been taken. Royal will kick off and it's going to be an absolute storm. Here's the weather, in case you were wondering. The weather here at the Bogambra Stadium, fine and windy, which will be important. Humidity 72%, hard to bear, but ground conditions excellent. Soft underfoot, it says. I might say it's not that soft. It's definitely rubber stud conditions, but as you hit the deck, whichever, Robert.
Oh, definitely, and here we go, and we see first kick-off quite deep into the 22 of the Trinity half.
Boom! Gone in, nice and hard. That was the Trinity flanker running hard. Senarat, the skipper, deciding to have a go himself.
Already Royal putting pressure on and creating a good attack, even though they haven't got a ball.
Nice high ball. Bowdin under it, collected beautifully. But the referee unhappy. That was beautiful, good passage of play, Robert, to start off.
Yeah, it was actually well taken from Bodine. A very difficult ball to take on the fly there, but he showed good skills coming through, and I think we have a penalty in there.
Beautiful replay, nice pictures, good example for all fullbacks, all youngsters watching. Keep your eyes firmly focused on the ball, irrespective. Once you catch it, then you start to think about your work. But unfortunately, referee had spotted something, so penalty to Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity want to get territory here now. It's all about territory and possession for Trinity. They've got this win behind them. I believe it's a good 15 to 18 point win, so they've got to establish this lead by half-time.
There you go. Robert has already told you that the wind is an 18-pointer, which means in terms of territorial advantage and the ability to use the wind to get points, it's worth 18 points. We'll have to wait and see what happens at the end. Trinity pre-rehearsed nicely. Royal uncontested. Oh, Senarat again. He's through. Punches one hole. Manages to get the ball. Offloads. Ching links it up. And they're still on. They're running wide. Trinity, all the initial work. Lovely to see. Good stuff.
Well, it was a great variation at line-out time. Just a four-man line-out. They set the target in midfield and work down the left-hand side. And you see this... I believe these Trinity wings and Pushpa Kumara at the back are actually decent players, and if we can get some decent platform from the forwards, it could be an exciting match. It really could.
Well, it's all lined up. Trinity have nothing to lose. They just got to go at it. try and get themselves into a better position than they were in Colombo. Everything that happened in Colombo is forgotten. Royal will have also tried to remember something, but if I was their coach, I would have told them, listen lads, this is a new game, new day, get out there and show us what you're made of, play to our game plan and close it down. Trinity have other plans.
Yeah, we're actually just being told there by the referee that he's got to roll away, he's got to release the player, he can't play the ball on the ground. So here we are, the scrum. Have Trinity managed to patch up a few differences here?
Well, they'll have a lot of work cut out because look at the pack weight difference, 630 to 540, but in Colombo, Robert, as we discussed, Royal completely outsmarted the Trinity pack. Will Trinity be able to do that today? Will they manage to have gone to the drawing board, do you think?
Well, they're keeping them down, but pressure coming on from Royal again. Just wheeling round on that tight head side, so the loose head prop from Trinity really needs to, what he needs to do is sink his knees rather than stand up straight, straighten his legs. He needs to sink his knees and keep his back straight, not allow the opposition to force him upwards.
Okay, so Trinity haven't in the first scrum, which is so important, that first engagement will tell a story, and Royal still the advantage. Look at that, what a good scrum by Royal College. Nice little shove on that.
They're getting underneath them and really forcing them up, and I'm just wondering whether the Trinity second row are actually a little bit too low on the props' legs and actually helping them to assist them push them up, so they've got to make sure they're not too low in it.
Slightly better scrum for Trinity College, but good pressure from the scrum half for Royal. And he struck too early, but referee says
don't do that, you don't want to chip away, and oh dear, he's having a look in his pocket, and
there's that replay, look at that.
Scrum half coming round, Ching a little bit slow to get away. The forwards gave him a good ball that time, and just infringing penalty, but unfortunately Manikam just decided to have a chip away at the referee, and I thought he was going into his pocket, maybe he's going for his handkerchief, but luckily he didn't go for a card.
Maybe referee Orwell's got a little bit of a cold. Manikam's heart would have taken a leap, but luckily he just warned him, as a good referee should. Well done. Now we get on with the game. Sandharuwan there, very clever, getting in on pressure for the Trinity scrum half. Here is that replay. Here we go. Oh, thank you very much. Just checking if he is shaved or not.
Yeah, no, I think he's used his razor this morning. Probably bought it at a Singer store somewhere.
There we go. Nice and clean. It's all about pressure. It's all about tension in the middle and how the players absorb that pressure. The team that absorbs the pressure and settles in quicker will be the team that make the difference today. Trinity College. Fly off. Quick ball.
Yeah, quick tap, playing advantage there. The Royal not retiring the 10 metres, and Trinity doing the right thing here. They're putting pressure on, they're maintaining possession, and Royal are looking a little bit rattled at this stage. So let's hope that they can, for the sake of the game, they can get down. Here we go for a line out. They'll probably go for a number two jumper, I would say, and try and get a drive on, create some space for a back line, and release the ball out.
Way we go. Robert's already told you the story. Let's see, Royal will have to counter, because let's see if they contest this line out. Trinity have the heaviest set, so they really must work something. Work the short side, Robert, and see if they can get some points on the board.
Yeah. There
number
it is, number two ball.
Here we go.
Oh, this is better, this is much better. Keep the drive on, keep the leg drive down, keep the body positions low. They've got control at the back, and there is the first try, is it? No, referee.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I think referee was a little bit caught on the wrong side. I thought he was over the line. Be interested to have a look at the Singer replay.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get the replay on this. It's a reverse angle replay, so all of you at home have a distinct advantage. That boy's over. He looks very much over. But referee, as you say, fairly well positioned, but didn't like the grounding, perhaps, Robert.
Yeah, well, there's a much better drive, and that's what with Trinity forwards are really looking for. They got a drive on to get low body position, and they got a good forward ball.
Good scrum for Royal. Not a very good clearance. Let's see if Sanjeeva for Trinity has a go himself.
He's got wheels, that boy.
It's good ground. Good offload. Here we go, Trinity. A lot better commitment in this first half. In the first 10 minutes of this game.
Just into touch there, unfortunately, but promising good pressure down here. They've been camped down here for most of the game. They're 6 minutes into the game, so really now they've got to put this. And here we just see the winger breaking down. There's good support by Pushpa Kumara coming in from fullback. Good tackle, good recycle ball, but unfortunately just going into touch there.
Pushpa Kumara has impressed us, Robert, at both stages of this game. He's there at the right time. He tries to create space, which is nice to see. He's got a good set of legs on him, so he can actually motor. So can the winger. So,
he wants to be in the game, doesn't he? He doesn't hang out the back there. He really wants to be in the game.
There you go. Royal College take the line out onto his left foot. Good clearance.
Penalty, unfortunately, for offside. Just the Trinity players crossing the hindmost feet, and just they've got to maintain the composure, maintain the pressure down here. They've got territory. They've got to come away with points.
That was Royals fly half, Varun Vijayawardena getting them out of jail. Here's that replay. Referee's already got his hand up. You can see that at home. Now, I hope you're enjoying these pictures on Sirius TV, brought to you by Singer. 15 years they've been supporting the Bradby Shield. And what a good story that is. You heard the chairman, Mr. Hemagama Surya, telling you that he'd like to be the chap that makes sure that everybody at home enjoys this broadcast, plus of course the Bradby Shield, one of the oldest rugby fixtures in the world, and certainly the oldest rugby fixture in Sri Lanka. Schools, good stuff.
Clean ball that time, and we've got the drive on. Just spinning around, just getting a little bit loose there.
Good ball, referee in the way, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, the referee obviously wasn't at practice that night. He didn't know what to do, did he?
Orville didn't read the move. CP hadn't told him that they're going to come down the middle, take it off the centre and bring it back.
I think they were trying to pull the same move they pulled in the Colombo game where they scored the try. It was a similar type of setup, drive, and then just cut him back.
There we go, Vijayawardena, miss pass, Bowden in the middle, same story. Almost like a knife through butter, but not quite sure this time. I gave him that status in Colombo. Pushpa Kumara for Trinity has a look. Good space. Too short though. The wingers overrun. And the Royal managed to hang on to that, the flanker.
Yeah, this is what Trinity don't want to get into. They don't want to get into the speculative game. They don't want to be kicking the ball willy-nilly. They need to consolidate. They've had territory and they just need to settle it down. And just here we see good backing up, good tackle from the winger. He's had a fine start to the game from Trinity, but Royal always there in support. This tight head prop from Royal, he's not a bad young chap either. He's always in the game.
That was flanker Prabhat Odugampola for Royal College, and then supported well. Look at that. Whoa, Robert. Now that is such a wonderful sight. The boys are there. The team chant is on. Come on, go Trinity, go.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves, aren't they? It'd be interesting to see Trinity get points on the board. I think they just erupt to our right here.
And the crowd go mad. That'll be a great opportunity for me to say that. I've wanted to say that for a very long time. Here we go.
Yeah, just missed time in the line out and not straight at the line out. It's one area of concern, I believe, that Royal probably haven't tied it up from the Colombo game. Just their timing at line out time and accuracy there is not as they would want, or as Coach CP would want. But resulting scrum from a knock-on, and so there was no advantage to Trinity. Now we have the scrum, and Royal will put the pressure on at the scrum.
Absolutely. I don't think Seepers will be happy as coach, because he's just given the advantage back to Trinity College. And there's flanker Udugampola having done that good work, guilty of not binding. Ajit, was that a case?
Yeah, he's the much better scrum from Trinity. Given the ball to Ching, who can he can clear that ball, but if he's under pressure, Ching's a little bit undecisive at the back end, but he really needs his forwards to provide a good platform for it.
I did talking about the advantage. Definitely Royal had that chance. Look at that. Now, is that what they're all playing for? Is there a little bit more than this?
Yes, I think they're going to vary it a bit, but I think they are varying it nicely. I think you need the long line out also, but I think Trinity are playing with a lot of tenacity. The forwards are playing with a lot of tenacity, and this is great.
Okay, early days, fabulous to see. Trinity College not giving anything away, trying to keep Royal in check. And Pushpakumara, very good collection. Has a go. Has he just found Bowdeen? Yes, he has. Nothing in it really, but Bowdeen, good pace, has a go himself, answers Pushpakumara's kick. And now, Trinity College having a go on the outside.
There's a good chase from Royal, but he broke the first line of defence.
Very
has he got the
neatly
numbers
done.
and support there? I think we may see turnover ball. No, they've still got it. Great defence around the fringes.
Good defence, good line-up in front. Trinity have got it, still got the ball, but Royal there in numbers. A bit of a, I'm going to try and kick left, and he kicked right.
Yeah, you really don't want to be kicking the ball down the throat of Bowdeen and Dissanayake there. They're too dangerous, so you've really got to make sure you're finding territory and you're finding ground. Don't kick to hand. Don't kick to hand, kick to land. So you really don't want to give them the opportunity. Royal will run it back. They're dangerous. They need to get territory, but they need to just panic, stop panicking a little bit, I think.
Well, it was a case that Trinity College was on the panic button there, didn't really know what to do, and just banged the ball. The Dissanayake, the Royal captain, might have thought it was a gift from heaven, but here we go. He's collected the ball, planned move. Nice and clean. Vijay Wardana links to Jayasundara, tries to have a little sidestep, but still on. Trips up. Royal College now having a go, settling in a little bit better. Sundaruwan linking back to Vijay Wardana. Has a go himself.
Yeah, they are. They're settling into the game in the last 3-4 minutes. They've got a little bit of possession, and I think Trinity have let them off the hook. There's a break here, and Rashid is away.
Rashid has a go, but unfortunately unable to control the ball. As good forwards go, I thought he might have not tucked the ball under his right elbow.
Yeah, needed to be make that ball available, but there it was, tucked under. He stepped. It was good pressure, but Trinity were a little bit guilty of going to sleep there and just walking back, not getting it back in position early.
Dr. Maya, we've got Royal now finally coming back into territory after a while.
Yeah, Sean, as expected, I think Trinity is putting up a grand show, but Royal is slowly clawing their way back into the game. And now I think they've got a penalty, and slowly and surely they'll claw back into the Trinity territory and start scoring.
There you go, for all of you at home. We've got Aditya Ratna and Dr. Maya as expert comment for Trinity and Royal. They've played each other many, many times, so the bias you'll hear in the voice. 14 minutes into this wonderful Bradby Shield. Nothing in it so far. Trinity holding up one side very well. Royal now starting to put the pressure and gaining valuable ground, but making some crucial errors, Robert, which has really let them down in good positions.
Yeah, it has, and there was a story from the first game as well. Royal here put in, throwing down the gauntlet to Trinity and opting to take a scrum, and the work will move down the right-hand side, but good defence from the Trinity left-hand wing.
Well, that was fairly telegraphed. With the ball coming wide and scrum half linking it, and Dissanayake taking it on the outside, but Trinity defence well up to it. So important that he gets that first tackle and boom! Yeah. Well in, well tackled.
And he's a big man to stop, isn't he? So he did very well in that phase, but just clearing over the top there. Another scrum. So this is sapping the energy out of Trinity. They don't want to be defending, and they just need to get the territory. They really need to get their hands on the ball like they did in the first 12 minutes and control possession down in the opposition half. Playing at the wrong end of the field, especially with this wind coming up. I'm with halfway through the first half, and my 18-point wind is not looking too flash at this stage.
Here we go. Boof! I think that was where the chap got winded. Nothing much really. Have a look at this. The Royal skipper dips his head and takes him full in the stomach, and he's just winded. Nothing spectacular. A little bit of heavy breathing will sort him out because he just needs just to get some air, and he should be fine.
Yeah, he just got him in the breadbasket, didn't he? So he'll, and he's a critical part of their game, is Manikim. So they'll not be wanting to replace him. They'll want to get him back on the field as soon as possible. So he'll be taking some deep breaths, and hopefully it's not a rib injury or anything. It's just a winded factor.
Looks like that. We'll have news on that from the touchline, but right now, Royal still getting that scrum so good, Robert. It's nothing much in what Trinity can do for this, because they're just getting under them and putting serious pressure on them. Good body position.
I like to see this. The referee's actually giving them a hard time. He's telling them that they're starting to force the scrum up. So that's good refereeing. They can't. They've got to keep the scrum straight. They can't afford to pop it up. So I hope the referee does keep true to his word and dominate and stop them from just popping the scrum, which has taken the impetus away from Trinity.
Well, that was referee telling Trinity that they had to get somebody in at number 8 because Mani comes off the track. And good clearance. Straight into Bowdeen's hands, the referee said. Ooh, whistle had gone, lads, hang on. Bowdeen crops one. Here we go.
Yeah, unfortunately this is all happening. The whistle had gone, and so there you go. He's just introduced it into the turf a little bit, and just emotions getting out of hand. A little bit of frustration for both people, and it looks like, have we got a sin bin in here?
Yes, we do. Referee Orville Fernando decides it was a little bit unnecessary, so young Mendes gets the first yellow card of this Bogambara encounter, 60th Bradby. Mendes will go down in history as taking the first yellow card. I think it was a little bit of emotion because the whistle had gone, and here we go, here's that replay. He's held him on and he's heard the referee, then both.
Yeah, I'm not sure if either player had actually heard the whistle, so I think that's a little bit harsh. He's just a little sorting out periods. If somebody's going to run at you, you're going to stop them, aren't you? So if you didn't hear the whistle, it's a little bit harsh, I think.
Absolutely, it is. The Bradby and Trinity have a lot of pride to recover from this game, so their hearts are right up, hoping to try and prove to their school and all their fans and the whole lot of Trinity College, of the generations of Trinity players, that they have what it takes to play up here in Kandy and give themselves a good account, and that's what he's done. I thought a warning would have been fair, Robert.
Yeah, I think that would have been a fair decision. It wasn't malicious, I don't think. It was a good, solid tackle. He did drive him into the ground, but it wasn't a spear tackle. There was really no danger apart from losing a bit of air out of the lungs. And just to see the line out there, not being able to get the line outs quite right, and the throw not being straight, so it'll be a scrum now to Trinity.
Royal are having a hard time with their set play, Robert, because here you go, perfect advantage, perfect opportunity, and they messed it up. The coach is not going to be happy.
No, CP won't be happy, will he? He'll be starting to pull out what hair he's got left, and he'll be giving them a rev up at half-time, but it's really just a matter of there's been one or two crooked throws, and they need to get that right. I think that was a tight head, was it?
Yeah, here we go, there's Herat. They're linking. Jayasundara underneath the post, desperately short. A foot or so from the line. Oh dear, oh dear.
Penalty in front of the post.
Now, here we go, here's the replay. Good ball, nicely.
And he shows good leg drive here, just getting held up. It was good defence, but probably 3 metres short.
Almost there, but not quite. Here's the other angle for you. 19 minutes into this Bradby Shield encounter, the second leg in Kandy, the Hill capital, all dressed up. Trinity guilty underneath the post. Royal have taken the scrum.
It was about this stage of the game in Colombo that Royal broke loose and scored the try, so it'll be interesting if they can follow suit here. And there's a dangerous attack down the right-hand side.
Trinity defence up to it.
A bit much better defence by Trinity. They've got to hold out here. They really can't afford to let Royal get their tails up and score points here.
That was a very good ball and a very planned move. If you can see that replay, they loaded one side, Robert, and had a go with Jasundara, Bahudin and the winger linking up on the far right-hand side with Vijay Wardana using the missed pass. But Trinity defence well up to it.
Yeah, it's good.
Very
thinking,
nice to see.
Good thinking that Royal are Trinity a man short, and here we see the inside centre just brushing off one tackle there, and it was a good tackle. I think it was that Push Pukumara again, was it?
That's right. Try-saving tackle. Well done, Push Pukumara. There we go.
Can they get this line out right? The wind's making it difficult, but they need to go short, I think, and that's not straight either. They're really going a little bit too long on the far side, which is affecting the throw. And so I would personally, in these conditions, just shorten my line out up and just go for a shorter ball.
Absolutely. You can see the Singer banners in the back fighting in the wind, so why would you want to take a long line out throw? You would logically go short. Royal now, having suffered that, give the advantage back to Trinity College and a chance for them to get out of jail.
Yeah, not a bad clearance, but I don't think he's found touch, and here we have this Bodine, is it?
Bodine just running into his own man there, very unfortunate.
Great chase from Pushpa Kamara. Okay, let's give this boy a big rap today. He's standing up and showing his bigger counterparts that easier means business.
Here's Young Ching taking the advantage, running the ball himself. Trinity now a chance to drive up the field and gain some valuable territory. Finally, they get their act together and get the ball secured. Bad pass, but well collected by Ranatunga.
Well, I think the referee's playing advantage here for offside. He's got his arm out.
There we go. Ranatunga again. Little chip. Has a go, but Baudine's up to it. He's well positioned and just a regulation dribble into touch.
Yeah, safe as houses today, isn't he? He hasn't put a foot wrong, really.
Well, he's playing against the wind, so he's got to be very safe today. Any mistake will be punished. Trinity are coming up very quickly. And today, it's going to be a case that we've seen 22 minutes so far, and it's been up and down, nothing spectacular. Trinity defense has been good. Royal have been guilty of not really completing their moves. Seepers there. Sibi Abegunawardana Seepers to his friends. A happy man, but a nervous man today, I think, Robert.
Yeah, it would be. And Royal Trinity have played much better in this first 22 minutes, and really they've got to get points on board before half-time. So they've got 7 minutes left now, and referee playing once again offside to Trinity there, just breaking the last man's foot. And as you see, just trying to attack down this left-hand side, a little bit high in the tackle there, but the referee was all playing.
There we go, quick ball, Baudin across to Dasanaika, trips up in the process. But today, we have had a very good encounter so far. Nothing in it. Ajit?
Yeah, it's a tremendous contest here. Both sides are playing with tremendous commitment. And Trinity, of course, started very well. They were unfortunate not to be awarded a try, as you said, Chandrashan, earlier in the game. That could have turned the game somewhat. But they are in the game. What is concerning me now is the Trinity defense. On the third and fourth hit that the Royal forwards take, the defense lanes are not in order. They're not organized on the outfield. So I think that's a bit of concern for me. Should Royal take 4 or 5 hits, the whole defense system goes for a 6 for Trinity. So we need the Trinity forwards to really take on the forwards that bring the ball in from Royal and stop the play there. But otherwise, they're going to be in trouble.
Okay, Ajit, but having said that, you must be a little bit proud of Mr. Garland, who have done a little bit of hard groundwork with Trinity. Despite the leg in Colombo, they have actually come back and answered all their critics rather well so far.
Oh yes, I think they really showed what they are capable of, and they really are showing people here that they got it in them to win this game. Maybe not win the Bradby now, but they can win this game, and if they just hold their nerve here and not panic, I'm sure if they play with this tenacity that they could turn this match around.
There's young Jeffrey Garland in his famous cap there now, trying to work out what Trinity have to do today. As Ajit said today, Robert, it's going to be a case of just playing for pride. It doesn't really matter. The Bradby Shield is already gone pretty much, but because they're going to have to score a phenomenal amount of points. But having said that, it's all about pride, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they put a much better performance on the board. Here we are, tight locked at 0-0, so it's a couple of two heavyweight fighters going at each other, hammer and tong, and nobody's given an inch at this stage.
Disanaika trying to punch that hole. Planned move from Royal College. Trinity defense up to it. Now, is it turnover ball? Let's have a look. Yes.
Turnover ball. The referee being very strict on Royal, which I'm pleased to see. Royal do have a slow down tactics, and we'll see here that he just places the ball but didn't have the support. The player came from the back feet. He was quite entitled to do that. And then Royal come on top and they just don't release the ball. They don't roll away from the tackler.
Brilliant pictures there for all of you at home. The youngsters watching this, even coaches, that's what you tell your players. Stay on your feet, and as soon as the ball is decked, the tackle player has to release. And you saw that that was a perfect example of a player coming through, picking up and carrying on. And Trinity did that so well. If we could see that picture again, that was brilliant, Robert. That's exactly what coaches want their players to do.
Yeah, he was very patient, the Trinity player. He was just waited and waited. He's bided his time. And here we see the line out, and it's going to number 4 ball. Their thrower's got his act on. They tried this move in the first about 2 minutes ago, but number 8, Manicum, is just a little bit high there. And referee's playing advantage again. The referee's coming into the game a little bit here.
Yes, he said going over and trying to kill the ball. Is that what his call was?
Yeah, I think so. And Royal are guilty of this. I watched them in the first round, and they do have slow down tactics, a little bit like the English do. They slow down the ball, and so...
Where did that come from, Robert? Suddenly England came into that. Being a true New Zealander, mate, you bring it back and tell me that... Here's that replay again.
I just haven't been able to have a dig at the Poms for a couple of weeks.
And then watch that. Here we go.
Here it is.
Beautifully done.
He came from the back feet. He's got good leg drive, and you see the Royal players that all come on top, and nobody will roll away. So the fair penalty is that one.
There you go. Dr. Maya is going to answer that, Robert, because does Royal really have a secret plan as a slow-down tactic, or is that part of CP's overall planning?
No, I must say, Sean, as expected, Trinity is applying tremendous pressure, but Royal has absorbed it up till now. But of course the hallmark for the good side is absorb the shock, take whatever you get and then claw back slowly. But I think Trinity is having the upper hand at the moment.
Absolutely. Here we go. Desperately 3 meters short of that all-important Royal line. Trinity now having the ball. Yes, driving back into the hands of the centre. That's Fernando taking the ball forward. Is it turnover? Penalty, says referee Fernando.
Yeah, they were just a little bit flat on that phase. They really need to get a bit of depth and momentum going.
But here's the replay. Have a look.
And as soon as he got the ball, Royal were right on him, so he didn't get the momentum, couldn't get over the advantage line. But result in penalty, so it's an ideal opportunity. It looks like they're taking the scrum. They're not going for points. They're taking the scrum, so they believe they've got pressure on.
Fair enough.
Sean, I think Trinity would have done well to have taken the penalty, because it's important to get a score first, because they got a sort of thrashing in Colombo. It will give a huge advantage to them psychologically if they had taken the penalty just under the post and had 3 points.
Here's Manicum, wall wide. Oh dear, static ball there. Very good defense by Royal College, Robert. I agree with Dr. Maya that they should have taken the penalty and sorted it out. Now the advantage swings back, and Royal turnover and recover.
Yeah, points on offer, you've got to take them, don't you? But it was promising to see, and here we see it just working down the right-hand side. It was good defence. Once again, up flat is the Royal defence. Just coming out, and they're just trying to, once again, the body position's high, little messy ball. Ching doesn't come in a great angle, and he gets himself in an awkward position from scrum half, and we see just Royal coming away, but driven over the touchline. So it's going to be Trinity ball from the line out. Their line outs are working very well in the last, the whole first half, actually.
Ajit now, perfect position for Trinity to strike again. Second opportunity in 2 minutes. They can actually try and put some points, despite the mistake of not taking those points, Ajit.
Yeah, I think they need to just keep hammering in all the time. It doesn't matter if you get driven back like that, but you retain the ball and keep hitting the Royal pack as much as possible. They are 90 kilos heavier, and something has to give somewhere.
Absolutely. Mendes taking it in, and Ching now trying desperately to clean it up and get his team into a better position. But they've come back, Robert. They've come all the way back onto the 25, and they haven't really gone over the gain line.
Yeah, we just see the replay here of Ching just getting a little bit tied up there. It wasn't good ball for him, but he brings it out. There's just a little bit of accidental offside, so it's turnover ball. We just see him running into his own second row, the number 4 there, and it was nobody's fault really. It's just one of those pressure things. But
Bowden from the back.
But they're still under pressure. Now we're pretty close to, we're right on full time, half time.
Referee Orville Fernando just heard us say we're pretty close to half time. Doctor, well, it's been nothing in it really, despite everything that was forecasted. Trinity have held their end, and well, tell me, from Royal College, is this what you thought was going to run in today's game?
Yeah, I expected Trinity to play in the same fashion that they are playing now. Remember, they are playing with the wind. They played very well and had a major share of the possession and territorial advantage, but they didn't
just have
score.
a look at the stats here. Sorry, Doc, to interrupt you there. There's not much in it. Territorial advantage there going to Trinity, and possession advantage at 55. And then the scrums, there was one tight head in the scrum going against Trinity, but a few turnover balls. Line-outs working, Trinity line-out working much better, but it's, as you can see, it's pretty even on the scoreboard, no points as yet.
Absolutely, the Singer Bradby Shield 2004, what a day, what a match. Even Steven, nothing in it, 0-all for all of you at home watching Sirius TV Live, brought to you by Singer. Hope you're enjoying the pictures. And if you're planning to go somewhere, I suggest you don't, because everything to play for in the second half. It's going to be a hell of a second half. Commercial break coming up, and we'll be right back.
Bradby Shield second leg ඔබ වෙත ගෙනීමේ ප්‍රධාන අනුග්‍රහය.
Bradby Shield encounter, Trinity versus Royal. Hope you're enjoying the pictures at home. And we're just going to cut into some replay. Watch this. This was an incident where the Trinity winger was sent off. Here's Baudin with the ball. He has it. Has a go. The referee's actually blown his whistle for those of you at home. Boof! Whacks him on the deck. Nothing much really. A little bit of wind rushing out of his sails. And the referee thought he didn't like that. He sent him off. We thought he should have been warned, but referee is in control. And sitting in with me, of course, an important gentleman, having given up a lot, he'll tell you about that in a bit, is Mr. Dilip Kumar, all the way from sunny southern Australia, or is it New South Wales? Dilip, nice to have you in Colombo. Of course, it's going to be very important. I can hear the heart pumping already, despite what's happening overseas. Dilip has joined us here in commentary because he's such an important man. He's chairman New South Wales Rugby. He's also a member of the Australian Rugby Board, and very recently, the all-important executive membership of the IRB. Dilip, tell me about that before you go anywhere else.
Thanks, Chandrashan. Well, firstly, yes, I've just been appointed to the International Rugby Board as Australia's delegate. The delegates come from the 8 founding nations, and as such, I was fortunate to get that position.
Brilliant. So nice to have you in Colombo. I know there's a heavy international duty on the other side in a couple of hours, where the Wallabies come out and play the Springboks. What the hell are you doing here?
I know. I had a choice of either being at Kings Park, Durban this afternoon, or watch my old school play, and it was a no-brainer. I decided on watching my school play.
So there's no toss-up really. Irrespective, you're here backing your school, which is so nice to see. And that really says it all, because that's part of the mores. That's really what Bradby Shield Rugby is all about. Dilip, now, you're here from Australia. You've got a keen eye about junior rugby in our country. In terms of this game, we know what's happening. Tell me about your thoughts on Sri Lanka junior rugby.
Yes, I think the school rugby scene here is very strong. Certainly from the days I used to play down here, the numbers of schools playing it have increased hugely. I just wish there are opportunities for these school boys to continue playing rugby after school, because I believe the senior club level is still 8 or 9 clubs where there are hundreds of schools playing it.
Very true, and that's something the union will have to look at very seriously. Here's the replay. Let me just cut into the action. You're watching the Sirius Live broadcast brought to you by Singer. Sitting in with me is Dilip Kumar, all the way here from Australia, an old Trinitian and very proud to be here. Orville Fernando very much in charge. Dilip, the game, of course, is so important that the numbers carry on playing, and we create a path of rugby for youngsters to play, and that's something we'll have to address here in Sri Lanka.
Yes,
Trinity putting pressure.
Trinity certainly taking the ball up there quite strongly. I expect this half to be quite a close one, particularly because the wind assists Royal in this half. There's a very strong wind out there, and also Trinity is looking into the sun.
So Dilip, in terms of the junior story, here's that little replay. We'll get into that after that. Trinity have really done remarkably well in the first half. They've carved all the respect back for themselves, having lost the first leg, having suffered about 40-pointer in Colombo, but in Kandy it's a different story. And I think, as you said, it's really for pride, isn't it?
They're certainly playing for pride here. They don't look like a team that lost 6 tries to nothing, so that's a great effort by the Trinitians to come back so strongly.
Absolutely. Junior rugby in Australia has a lot to offer rugby players as they go through the system. Any chance that we might be able to develop the same story as we watch this replay?
Yes, indeed, Chandrashan. We have a very strong Colt system. So you finish playing clubs, schools, and then you join a club and start playing in the Colt section, which is the junior section, and you progress up the different grades till you start playing grade rugby. So there's no such avenue for the current schoolboys here. I hope we try and develop that here.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that in a second. But now here we go. Trinity with the line out. They have a lot to prove to themselves as a team. Good line out, well collected.
That's a good take there. It's offside there, clearly.
Referee doesn't like that. He says, listen. Not straight, says referee. There you go. Referees all around the world, Dilip, have not much choice in people chatting back at them.
The man in the middle is always right.
And of course, we have a lot of work in terms of getting rugby to its international status of Sri Lanka. We are rated in the Asian circuit, as you know, Dilip.
Yes.
Tell me about what you're considering, the present developments for rugby in what you told us earlier, just off camera, about the stories.
Well, what is happening in countries like New Zealand and Australia? They've introduced a kind of a game called 80-80 rugby, where the maximum weight is 80 kilos and you play just for 80 minutes. This is a way of balancing out the large Islanders and Polynesian population dominating rugby at an early age. This form of rugby is very popular now in New Zealand. 200 teams played, and we're hoping to try and grow that all over Asia.
Brilliant. That's something we can look forward to here in Sri Lanka, because 80-80 will make a lot of sense, as the body weight factor will then come down to skill and pace and fitness and those important attributes of the game, Dilip.
Oh, surely. I mean, Sri Lankans are very skillful, fast players. If they lack anything, it's size. This takes that away, and I think they'll be competitive with most teams.
Talking about most teams, Dilip, remember your days at school, all dressed in white, screaming and shouting your head off. Nothing has changed, has it?
Nothing has changed. I'm pleased to see some of those traditions are continued, particularly being dressed in white for games. At Trinity, you even had to wear white in the boarding to come down for meals. A friend of mine was saying when his wife calls him for supper these days, he looks for a white shirt.
There you go. Nothing changes. People still dress up in white to come out and enjoy their meals. Baudin from the back now. Here we are live. Pushpakumara, nice collection. Fullback to fullback. A little bit of a rash kick collected by Herat for Royal College. Has a go himself, tackled by the Trinity flanker. That's Ching getting in on the tackle. Loose pass, Vijay Wardana. Little chip, looking for space.
Very nice
what
kick,
a neatly done story.
That's a very well-weighted kick there. The wind certainly will assist Royal in this half, and they're playing to their strengths.
And in fact, they've got a very good three-quarter line, as Dr. Maya told us. Once Royal College now, with the wind advantage in their favor, settled down, they've brought Trinity all the way back. You can see that flag. Look at that. How strong that flag. And Jeffrey Garland, the Australian coach. Here's that replay.
I think quite correctly, like you said, it will be a bit of an uphill task now for Trinity to contain Royal. If Royal doesn't make the silly mistakes, I would expect Royal to score.
Beautiful.
And this game to end up with a victory for Royal.
Absolutely. The voice of Royal College speaking there, Dr. Maya Gunasekara. Trinity now a chance to get out of jail. And as we were saying, that replay showed the commitment. Herat taking it hard, handing off his player. Beautiful from Trinity College.
Excellent ball there.
And earning themselves, getting out of jail and getting a penalty in the process. Referee says, listen, bringing it down. Not acceptable. Unfortunately, referee was on hand, so he saw that, Dilip. So
he did indeed. Well, it was a very brave move by Trinity defending their own goal line to maul the ball up there.
Brilliant stuff. 6 minutes into the second half. Seepers and Jeffrey Garland in your picture. You saw Jeffrey Garland before, and the Singer girls. I think they need to warm up a little bit more. It's a windy day today, as you can see from the pom-poms. Let's hope everything else stays down. Here we go. Line-up opportunity. The referee won't like that because...
That wasn't straight at all, and rightfully picked up on that.
Referee says, what do you want? Royal College up for a scrum ball. Nothing in it so far. It's 0-0, just in case you're joining us for the first time at home. Wherever you are in Sri Lanka, sitting in on commentary, Mr. Dilip Kumar, Executive Council member of the International Rugby Board, dragged himself away from the all-important encounter in Durban today, where the Boks confront the Wallabies for world supremacy, but then college supremacy, and the traditions die hard, they say. Trinity College trying to hold up. Herat from the back. Good break. Driving hard. Pumping the legs. Brilliant to see. Sundaruwan links Vijay Jaya Sundara. This is planned move. Set plan by Royal College now. Ball wide. Jaya Sundara, sorry, he was standing wide actually. Ball spills wide. I'm not sure that was part of a plan, Dilip. It was just an idle kick.
No, it wasn't part of the plan, but I would imagine they'll use the high ball a bit in this half because the Trinitians are facing the sun.
Dilip, now your trip has brought you to Colombo. What is your plan from here onwards?
Well, I fly back to Sydney tomorrow night, and then the Tri-Nations finish today. I'll be moving on to Dublin for the International Rugby Board meetings in November.
Okay, so all important official requirements for Dilip, but so nice to have him here in Colombo, sitting in with us, chatting with the game. As an injury to Bimal Herat, as he took a crack to the body, trying to drive for that Trinity line. Trinity have protected their line rather well, and Royal are now in the second half with a separate plan. Ajit, part of this story, tell us.
I think the two number 8s are having a great game, Herat and Manikam. Manikam especially has been driving in hard, keeping his body angle very low, giving tremendous advantage to the Trinity forward to go over him. And again, Herat on the other side, his counterpart also has a tremendous game. He's a wonderful, skilled player. So these two number 8s are having a game of their lives here, Chandrashan. I think it's a tremendous forward battle here, and two sets of forwards are really going for each other, and there's no give at all, and that's good for school rugby.
That's Bimal Herat, the Dilip, not giving it up. In fact, his coach wanted him off the park, but he said, no, I'm going to carry on playing because we are in a good, strong position. He knows exactly where they're standing. A couple of meters away, Dilip, and a good chance for Royal College now.
Yes, indeed. They got the feed into the line out. I'd imagine that they'll roll it.
Here we go, having a go. Good body position. Driving forward, but Trinity still holding up a little. Royal College now getting their legs pumping. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go.
That's
and
it.
we're through.
It's a throw.
Finally.
Right.
That's Rashid.
A well-worked move. Very well done by Royal there.
As the Royal crowd go up in unison, young Rashid. Here's that replay. Finally, Royal get on the scoreboard. Good body position. Trinity held up for a little bit, but they start breaking up now. And we're just 10 minutes into the second half. Those of you joining us all around Sri Lanka, the Singer Bradby Shield encounter. Sitting in with me is Mr. Dilip Kumar, Chairman New South Wales Rugby. We've dragged him away from his very comfortable position on the other side. And Dr. Maya, here we go. Royal College, as you said, predicted, came out in the second half. Seepers would have given them some serious grief.
Yes, and Royal is very strong if they get a line out near the opponent's goal line. They have always been scoring from similar positions. But now I think with the wind behind them, Trinity forwards have done their best. Unfortunately, I think a try was not allowed in the first half. But, well, that's how it is. And now Royal